Title: Eye of the Storm by Ukiresh Azubike. Chapter 16: The Edge of the World. The desert stretched endlessly before them, an ocean of pale fire under a merciless sun. Imezi and Zara rode through the silence like ghosts, two figures swallowed by sand and sky. Every hoofbeat felt like a heartbeat lost to time. The world had become still, too still, as though it were holding its breath before something broke. Arawan was gone, Iwuji was dead, Kezie was missing, and Imezi was unraveling. By the third day, they had found no water, only mirages. Zara's lips were cracked, her veil stiff with dust. She watched Imezi from the corner of her eye, how the girl moved without pause, her back straight, her face expressionless. It frightened her. "Imezi," she croaked, "we need to stop." "We can't. Even the wind stops to breathe." Imezi turned her head slowly, and Zara saw it, the distant, hollow gleam in her friend's eyes. The humanity that used to dance in them now dimmed into something colder, stranger. "I don't feel tired," Imezi murmured. "I don't feel anything." Zara clenched her jaw. "Then I'll feel for both of us." She slid off her camel, grabbed Imezi's reins, and yanked her to a halt. "We stop. You hear me? You're not a spirit." "Not yet." Imezi blinked. The sun burned overhead. For a heartbeat, she looked like she might strike her. Then, slowly, her shoulders sagged. "All right," she whispered, "just for a while." They found shade beneath the ribs of a dead acacia tree. Zara lit a small fire, coaxing it from dry grass and faith. She handed Imezi a handful of dried dates. For a long while, neither spoke. The desert wind sang its low, endless tune. Finally, Zara said softly, "He wouldn't want you like this." Imezi's hands stilled. "Who?" "Iwuji. Or Kezie. Take your pick." The fire cracked. "Iwuji said knowledge is a burden," Zara went on. "He said to live one day at a time." "You think he meant it only for himself?" Imezi's voice was quiet, trembling at the edges. "He also said not to hack life. But what if life's already hacked you?" Zara looked up sharply. "Don't talk like that. I'm serious, Zara. What are we if not fragments of some god's mistake? We live. We don't age. We die, but we don't stay dead. We carry memories that aren't ours. Maybe the storm was never meant to stop." Her voice cracked. "Maybe we're not meant to feel." Zara's hand shot out, gripping her wrist. "No, you will feel. You'll laugh, cry, rage, love, whatever it takes. Because if you let that storm take over, I'll drag you back myself." Imezi stared at her. Then, for the first time in weeks, she laughed. It was bitter, shaky, but it was real. "You'd try," she said softly. "But you don't understand, Zara. When I turn 25, that's when it happens. That's when it stops." "What stops?" "Everything." That night, a cold wind swept across the dunes. They camped beside a half-buried ruin, ancient stones carved with forgotten symbols. Zara slept lightly, the hilt of her dagger within reach. Imezimma didn't sleep at all. She wandered the ruins under moonlight, her hair whipping like smoke. Something stirred inside her, an ache deep and fierce, like grief wearing armor. She knelt before a cracked slab of stone and whispered to the night. Kezie, if you can hear me, I'll find you, even if I have to burn the whole world to do it. The wind shifted. She could almost hear a voice answering, faint and distant. Find the mirror, Imezimma. She froze. Who's there? No answer. Only the whisper of sand moving. But when she looked down, she saw, half buried in the sand, a sigil carved in silver, glowing faintly. The same symbol from Baba Idris's scroll, the Mirror of Uwa. She reached for it. The metal was cold, too cold, like touching eternity. A pulse ran through her arm, visions flashing like lightning. A great ocean, ships, chains, fire, crying souls dragged across the sea. She gasped and jerked her hand away. Zara jolted awake, running toward her. What happened? Imezimma's breath came in ragged bursts. The coast. It's waiting for us. Something's coming. Zara frowned. The coast? The edge of the world. Imezimma's eyes blazed. The mirror's there. By dawn, they were riding westward again, toward the Atlantic, where whispers of new empires drifted across the desert winds. Caravans spoke of strange men, white-skinned traders, building forts on the coastline, exchanging gold and salt for human lives. The age of conquest was beginning. Weeks later, near the Niger River, they reached a bustling market town called Walata, a crossroads of merchants and whispers. The air smelled of pepper, smoke, and something darker, fear. They kept their hoods low, but eyes followed them. Men murmured, pointing at the two women traveling alone, carrying strange symbols and no master. At an inn, Zara muttered, "We shouldn't stay long." Imezimma nodded absently. Her thoughts were elsewhere, on the mirror, on Kezie, on the approaching end of her mortal feelings. She didn't notice the man watching them from the corner, his face hidden under a turban. His eyes were sharp as knives. When they left the inn, he followed. That night, as they camped outside the city walls, the man made his move. 3 riders approached from the dark, silent as vultures. Imezimma woke instantly. She felt the shift in the air. Zara reached for her dagger. The first rider lunged, steel flashed. Zara parried and kicked him off his horse. The second swung low, catching Imezimma across the arm. The blood steamed where it hit the sand. Her eyes flared. "You shouldn't have done that." The third rider saw it, the faint glow in her veins, the pulse of ancient power beneath her skin. He gasped. "She's one of them!" Before he could flee, Imezimma moved, fast as lightning, striking with a feral grace. When it was over, the desert was silent again. Zara stared at her, breathing hard. "Someone was listening in Arawan," she whispered. "They know what you are." Imezimma nodded slowly. "Then we have no choice. We keep moving." Zara wiped her blade. "To where?" Imezimma looked toward the west, where the air shimmered faintly with salt and the promise of the sea. "To the coast," she said. "To the Mirror of Uwa. To find out what I am before I forget how to care." As they rode into the horizon, the wind began to howl again, low, mournful, ancient. Somewhere far behind them, in the ruins of Arawan,
A black-robed figure knelt beside Iwuji's grave. He smiled faintly and whispered, "So the storm still moves."